Is madly in love with a young man that is a severe epileptic. She says she has no problem with that. Her issue is that he refuses to take his medications, and as a result has seizures very frequently, sometimes daily. In fact, yesterday he ended up in the hospital here when he came in to talk with me. But Amanda says Dylan is the love of her life. She would do anything to help him.
The problem is that Dylan does not take his medication.
He says it makes him feel weird. It is a conscious decision, but I do believe there are those times that he thinks he's taken his medicine and he hasn't. Dylan's seizures were bad early this year. The last 6 months, they have been a lot better because I used to FaceTime him every night so that I could make sure he took his medicine. The only reason it stopped working was because he stopped calling me. I would try and call him, and he would text me and say, yeah, I took my pills. Beyond that, there's nothing I can do.
I get very frustrated. For 5 months, she would watch him swallow his pills, and he was doing great. He didn't have a seizure. He was spending time with his son. They would go out and do things together. He got part-time jobs.
Dylan is definitely crying out because he's hurt and scared on the inside. He puts on a front. He's a very strong, manly man, but inside, I believe he's just a hurt child.
Well, before we go further and talk about how he does feel inside, I want to add someone else to the conversation. Dylan's sister, Brittany. Take a look.
Since I've known Dylan, he has had well over 50 seizures. When Dylan was 16, I started to see a change in his behavior. Poor hygiene, hanging out with the wrong crowd, issues with authority. Dylan has had trouble in accepting his epilepsy as an illness that needs to be treated long-term. Last year, there was a couple episodes where Dylan got very irritable, very angry. Dylan was way more aggressive than usual. I just decided to create a loving distance. Dylan lives in a home that I would not personally live in. I have told Amanda it is not safe for her to go over there with Hayden. It's a huge risk factor for me and a red flag. I know that Dylan will probably be a little upset with me for telling Amanda that she should move on, but I think it's best for Hayden. My concern for Dylan is that he does not love himself enough, therefore he is not capable of loving Amanda and Hayden. Amanda's old enough to make her own decisions of who she wants to be with, but Hayden's not.
Well, Brittany, thank you for joining us, and I wanted to add you to the conversation right now because Amanda had just talked about the fact that Dylan has a lot going on inside, and he has anger and issues inside, and I know that you feel like he can't give away what he doesn't have, and he doesn't love himself enough to really love and value anybody else. So you believe she should move on from your brother and protect her son.
Absolutely.
You say his living conditions aren't healthy.
Right.
What you've been there?
Yes, sir.
And you go there?
Yes, sir.
And you take your son there?
Not anymore.
Okay. Why do you say they're not healthy? What is it? What do we find when we open that door?
The main thing that's not healthy for anybody to be around is the lifestyle that's being lived in and out of that house. It's basically become a flop house because Dylan is a very lonely person and he puts himself around people that are lower than what his standards should be to be around. And also there are major home repairs that have been needed to be done for almost a year now, and he's received no help with that.
He can't lock his doors because his doors are broken because they've been broken into so many times. He told me last night that he's now sleeps on his couch because he has to be prepared to fight someone when they try and break in.
Dylan is so lonely, and he is on disability. He can't work, he can't drive. I mean, he gets disability.
Yes, he can. All he has to do is comply with the treatment protocols.
But we can't,
and then
that's
he can.
why we're here.
He can
I don't
do
know
all
how
of
to
that.
make him do it. We don't understand
You
how to...
say the walls are covered in mold?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And they're caving in?
Yes, sir. He fell through his closet floor before trying to get dressed.
So you think it's not safe?
It's not a safe place for
So you've quit
us.
taking him over there?
Yes.
But you want to have 2 more children with him?
No, I want a future with him.
You shouldn't be with him. You need to get on with your life.